You guys have seen me grow this business out, and right now I'm toying with the DTG machine. I got the craft DTG machine already, and I'm trying to figure out if DTG is something that I want to get into for the new store. How you guys doing? My name is Stan Banks from T-Shirt Side Hustle, and I help people start t-shirt businesses from home. Where we at? And today I'm here with Victor from Omniprint International, one of the leading DTG machine manufacturers. And we're gonna ask him some tough questions right after the intro. Okay, before we jump right into it, let me go ahead and tell you guys what I need you to do. First and foremost, I need you to like this video, man. I'm traveling all across the country, Victor, man, trying to get the best information out to my audience. So you guys need to like this video. You also need to go ahead and subscribe, hit that post notification bell, because I make videos like this all the time. All right, man, I'm here. First and foremost, let everybody know who you are and where we are, I guess, right now.
Yeah, so my name is Victor Pena. I'm the founder and CEO of Omniprint International, and we are in sunny Southern California. And we've been around for about 16, 17 years now. Our biggest mission is to create a community of entrepreneurs that are winning with print on demand. And we're doing a lot of these educational sessions to do just that. Thank you for being here. I know it's a long trek over here, but at least it's sunny.
Yeah, right. Leaving the snow and coming here. So I guess the first question I have when it comes to DTG is like, how do I know it's ready? My audience has been doing vinyl, coming out of the house. Some of them actually elevated into stores, but how do I know if DTG is something that I should be considering at this point?
It's a great question, and actually a lot of the times, guys, so we when somebody calls us, we actually start with tell me about your business, right? Why? Because DTG is not for everybody.
True.
And as a manufacturer, we're the first to tell people all the time. That's why we do a lot of education ourselves. You want to get into it. Number one, if you already have some sort of business going, for example, if you're already in vinyl, if you already do some screen printing, you have some business, right? It's time, right? It's time. If you have people saying, hey, you know what? I want full color graphics. I want them today. I want them on e-commerce. It's a lower to mid-run type of production. Those are the sweet spots for it. It's always time right now to start a business, right? No question about it. But if you have to borrow 20 grand to get into a direct-to-garment printer, I want to make sure that you understand the money. You understand what you need to sell at, who you need to sell to, quality, all those kind of things.
So when it comes to that, what type of business environments do you see your customers succeeding at? Like I said, my audience mostly started out from home, or they may be a little bit further along in the process. I don't feel like DTG is the best situation to be selling out of your home. I feel like if you're in a retail location, you got traffic that'll actually bring your DTG business because you can print those things on demand on the spot. Now, I have seen some cases where people have ran their machines out of their homes and been quite successful and grown it that way. But what are some of the environments that you feel your customers are best succeeding in?
Man, we're lucky. So we have customers that are in the home-based business. Like we have thousands of machines out there that people are at home, right? In the garage, some in the living room, and they've been managing to thrive. We also have big fulfillment centers that use our machines. We have shops in the middle that are in a commercial space. Maybe they have 2+ machines to do their production. In our creators one-on-one sessions, I wanted to show people that are winning, right? So who's winning? You got to have an e-commerce presence. Even if you're at home, set up a Shopify store or use whatever free software that you have out there. Put some products out there. Make sure it's shoppable. Make sure that like people can easily buy. If you have stuff on there, don't have bogus information that people can't buy. I've seen people win with e-commerce from home, number one. So if you're thinking, for example, you're saying, hey, you feel it's better if somebody's in a retail environment because you got the traffic, especially with COVID, where we saw people even take machines home from their retail shops and start winning online because they're being shut down. I'll say our number one winner is e-commerce.
So I think that is very interesting. Pre-COVID, we look for that traffic to come in, but now it's like you definitely have to have an online presence. It's not a thing that you can even play with or think about. You have to jump on these platforms, and on top of that, create some content to even draw things in. Now, you said something interesting. It was like print on demand, right? So how are people taking their machine that they have and maybe they wanted to do custom shirts, but actually using that service or that machine for other people?
I'm always preaching sell first, right? Then produce and ship. And that's the print on demand model. Our mission is to create entrepreneurs that are winning with print on demand. Those kind of customers that, number one, if you have your own line, maybe you have a clothing line where you sell to a certain niche, set up a site for that. If you're saying, I want to subcontract to somebody where they're going to send me the orders, you also need to make sure that you're doing that on a platform that allows you to make that on demand. Because somebody has custom images, artwork, colors, designs, it turns into a huge mess if you don't manage it properly. At the beginning of this COVID and all that stuff, we had less than 50% of the customers had e-commerce anything. They're taking the orders via email, phone calls, DMs, USB stick, here's my artwork, you deal with it, I just want a nice print. No, now we have a work platform, which you've seen. We're like, hey, give the basic for free for people so they can push people to there and offload all that. So if you're doing print on demand, make sure that you have your pricing on point, you have a platform somewhere that people can go. That's huge.
Yeah, no question. I think it's more so important that the organization of everything, because ultimately we have to educate our customers, because you get screenshots that come through the phone, and then how do you stay organized if you're getting emails and you're getting DMs and then you're getting text messages and you got all of these orders coming in from different places? It becomes super, super hard. So what is the actual learning curve getting into DTG? Like how long before, not necessarily master it, but how long before I can be proficient from somebody who has no experience with DTG, maybe some printing experience to understand file types and all of that stuff, but just trying to get into the business? What should I expect, or how long was that learning curve?
Yeah, it really depends on the individual. We've seen people start being successful after a month or so. We've also seen people not be successful for 6 months. So what we do is we have a Omni Academy, right, where we put a lot of different courses people can use when they buy our machine. How to print, how to pre-treat, how to use the software. The short answer, Stan, is that you have to make sure that you dedicate the time to learn the craft. Otherwise, you're going to struggle. Right. Don't take jobs when you don't know how to print. You're going to mess up blanks, right? If you call anybody and you say, hey, you know what? Any vendor, say, I want to buy a DTG printer, and they're telling you, hey, man, you're going to be like making millions by week one. Dude, it's a huge lie. True. You're taking it from the people that make and sell DTG machines. That's why we ask, tell me about your business. Are you starting? Are you in the middle? Are you seasoned? Because we need to know how we're going to help you grow. We're the only manufacturer out there that's doing every week learning sessions, Creators Live, right? Because the education part is super important. So learning curve can be tough. Even in vinyl, even in screen printing, super tough. We're printing like on textiles, guys. Yeah, you don't have that labor of, for example, screen print and that kind of stuff, which is hands down to those guys because it's rough. But like, you still got to learn it. Which blanks print well, which pre-treatment, all that stuff.
That's super interesting, because even in what I tell people is I think vinyl is simple enough that when you get your equipment, you should be printing the same day. You unbox and heat press your vinyl. You use some of my tutorials out there. You should be printing the same day. But you really got to take that first 30 days and commit to actually learning and understanding the process. Make some stuff for yourself, your family, your friends. Get it out there. Let them wear it. Let them wash it. Let's see what's going on before we actually jump into, all right, I'm ready to sell. And I've been around the industry since 2011, and I've been doing, YouTube since 2017. And what I find is that I like to work with companies who are actually investing into educating. They have a social presence and they're super active, and also they make the equipment that they're selling. That's a huge point. Going through a distributor, you can never always get the answers to the questions, or it goes, you got to contact this company to get the answer, and then they say, who'd you buy it from, and they send you back. it's that runaround, and I think that's one of the unique things about your company when it comes to DTG. So how does that like actually work out, or how is that a benefit to the customers?
It is. So we're one of the only companies that's fully vertical, right? So I'm a huge nerd. I want to make stuff myself. It took some time to be able to have the team. For example, we manufacture our own inks. We manufacture the machines here in the back, which we'll show you a tour there. Software. We have 8 programmers here that code our own software, right? So if I say, hey, you know what, we need to do this, it gets in the works and it gets done. And what's the benefit? Each thing we could tweak. Like, we're not just buying this third-party software here. Somebody else is formulating our inks. Then we still have to like make them work with the machine. All of the QC and the testing we do here. Like, we know how the stuff performs. So it's a huge benefit to the users, because when they call, we're not sending them somewhere out of the country to figure out, hey, how does this work? And if we see a problem with QC, we don't release it. So here, before we release an ink, we do wash tests. We have all sorts of lab tests. And if a full batch, like we'll do 1,000 liters, and if the full batch is not ready, we don't release it. Right. Whereas maybe a supplier might have other standards to release it. You don't know until you get it.
Until you get it, yeah. Then you got to run back through the chain. So I think I want to end this here with this last question. I think the price tag on DTG scares a lot of people. I know we're going to go into the numbers later in another video for you guys, but the price tag scares people. So how do you, like, I don't want to say put people at ease, but how do I know as a consumer, first off, that I'm going to be profitable? It's going to make me some money, but how do I figure out if that I can afford that?
Yeah, for sure. It's a great question. See, to get into DTG, you're looking somewhere, depending on what you buy, you're going to be at 15, 16,000 at the low point to maybe 25, 30,000. Why do we ask you about the business? Because you have to be able to justify what the machine is going to cost you per month, because the machine should pay for itself.
No question.
Credit's important, guys. So if you guys don't have good credit, start fixing that. Why? Because there's so many benefits to business owners to finance, tax deductions, depreciation, right? That happens. Whereas if you don't, you're paying cash. You got to save up all the money and then put it into a piece of equipment when you can spread it out over time. Right? So typically most people will finance, and you're looking at somewhere from $300 to $500 a month, depending on where your credit lies, is the best way to do it. Why? If you're doing $300 to $500 a month, you know how much you have to do in sales to cover that and make some profit. So like you said, we'll do some numbers so that people understand where they need to be to make profit. But it is a different way of doing business. Make sure that you're prepared financially to be able to do it, right?
I think as a person who grew up like cash everything, if I don't have enough money in my pocket, then I can't afford it. I'm learning this credit and trying to get all these things in order, because it does make it a lot easier, especially because now, even if you did save up the money to spend 15 to 20 grand on the machine, you still got the back end of you still need to buy blanks, you still need to get ink and replenish your stock and different things like that. But if you take all of your cash, you dump it into the machine and you scrambling for the rest. So I think that is a huge point, and that's something that I want for my channel now, is like we got to grow past some of the thought process that we may have had before. And it's going to be super important. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. That way I can check them out and we can get some more videos coming up in the future. I'm looking forward to doing some tutorials here at OmniPrint and checking out the machines. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This has been your boy Stan Banks from T-Shirt Side Hustle, here with Victor from OmniPrint International. Peace.
Peace out.